Hi, so my name's Zoe. I'm a medical herbalist. I just want to remind people what herbs and spices and foods they have in their cupboards and in their kitchens that can really support the body at this time, whether you feel you're ill and have the virus or whether you haven't and you just want to be putting as much good stuff into your body as possible to support your immune system at the moment and stay as healthy as possible. So we'll start with foods. The two foods that people always forget, because we always think herbal medicine is more complicated than it is, and it isn't. It's about what you have around you. And most people will have garlic and onion in their kitchens. So garlic, massive antibacterial, massive antiviral, huge immune stimulant, massively supports the immune system, and also really supports the stomach and all the good bacteria in the stomach, which is, again, is part of the immune system. So take raw garlic. It has to be raw garlic for its medicinal dose, for its medicinal use. You can either chop that up raw, put it in a bit of oil, you can put it on in some butter, put it on some bread, make some garlic toast. But with raw garlic, you can chop it up and mix it with honey. You can eat the cloves raw and knock it back with some water or orange juice. Or you can put it into your food at the end of the cooking, so not to cook it. So the important thing is a dose of garlic, raw garlic, every day, however that suits you, however you want to take your garlic. Onion, again, a really strong immune tonic. Most people will have onions in their kitchen. You can make an onion syrup. So you put a layer of sugar, a layer of onion, a layer of sugar, a layer of onion, a layer of sugar, a layer of onion. In about 4 hours, you see it start to become a syrup. Overnight, then you strain it and you have an onion syrup, and you take that 3 times a day as a preventative, or up to 6, 10 times a day if you feel you're in the middle of this cold virus, COVID-19 thing. And traditionally it was used for the lungs. In traditional Chinese medicine, they're working on moistening the lungs, so onion will do that. And taking raw onion, so it basically draws everything out of the body. So the witches originally and traditionally used to put half an onion by the bed of the sick, because it pulled all the bacteria and all the things in the air into the onion and away from the sick person. And that's what it does in the body. It'll draw everything out and get things moving. It really supports the lungs, supports the immune system. So make an onion syrup, get loads of raw onion into your diets and loads of raw garlic. Other things people will have in their kitchens, which you forget, so basically herbs are naturally antiviral, antibacterial and antiparasites, because they need to have those mechanisms to prevent themselves from getting any infection. So the herbs that people will have in their cupboards that they can use medicinally will be oregano, thyme, sage, rosemary, all your culinary herbs. Again, to take some medicinal dose, you can take a teaspoon of the dried herbs, add hot water, take it as a tea. So I'll go through those individually. Oregano supports the lungs, massively anti-infective. So take your oregano. Take your thyme. What thyme does is thyme actually breaks up phlegm, so it's a really specific lung tonic for where there's congestion and where there's phlegm, which is what this condition does, or what this virus does. It creates a lot of congestion and a lot of thick, dry phlegm in the lungs. So thyme comes in as a mucolytic and it breaks up the phlegm. It supports the cilia, which is like the escalator of the windpipe that gets stuff out the lungs and helps to expectorate it, so it helps to get stuff up. And again, antibacterial, antiviral, anti-infective. So thyme is a really good one that people will have in the cupboards. And again, sage. People will have sage, take it as a tea. Sage would be really good for a gargle. So it has a specific affinity for the throat. So you could boil up some sage, you could add a bit of salt, a bit of good sea salt, you could add any other herbs and spices and boil it up, make a decoction and just gargle with it a lot, and that'll give you a lot of sort of protection around the throat to prevent the virus coming in. And again, if you feel you've already got it, it's only going to offer support to the body. So sage, rosemary. Rosemary gets the blood moving. It warms us up. It helps gets all the blood moving around the body, which will get like the immune cells moving around the body. So rosemary again, and it's also part of the aromatic herbs. It is anti-infective, so you can get some rosemary into your body. So cook with these herbs as much as possible, and if you don't have much else available to you, then take them as herbal teas, mix them with honey, however suits you. Get them into your body and it will support you. And then there's the spices. So people have all the spices, generally have all the spices in the cupboard. And if you know somebody that doesn't have these things, then share them with them. You know, like sanitize everything, leave it on the doorstep, and make sure, communicate through the phones and the technology that we have, and make sure that people that might not have access to this knowledge or access to these herbs and spices, which most people will have access to, make sure they're shared. But the spices, ginger, anti-inflammatory, really supports the body, supports the gut, a huge part of the immune system. You can just have ginger tea, you can have lemon tea, or you can boil up ginger and drink it. The Chinese herbalists in China where herbal medicine works alongside biomedicine, or what we call modern medicine, they're taking ginger and licorice decoctions before they work with patients with the virus. So loads of ginger. Cinnamon again is specific for opening up the lungs, so people that have wheezes, or people that just have a little bit of general congestion in the lungs, they might be prone to coughs and colds, they might be smokers. Cinnamon can just really open up the lungs and help breathing. So you can put cinnamon on your porridge. It's quite a strong herb, you don't need a lot of it, so just little bits of cinnamon here and there, or a little bit of tea. Again, you could put it in a gargle, but cinnamon will help open up the lungs and help with breathing. Chili gets the blood moving, and herbal medicine works on opening things up, relaxing things, getting the blood moving around the body, and the immune system does the rest, providing it has the right nutrition. And then again, there's all the other spices like caraway, cumin, cardamom, fennel. So they all contain oils that really support the gut and relax the gut, but those oils also work on the lungs and help support the lungs. So all these spices you want to be cooking with, and you can be boiling them up and you can be drinking them. Take your herbs regularly, every couple of hours. So yeah, that's basically your kitchen remedies that most people have access to, and if you know somebody that might not have access to them, then please do share them. Okay, thank you very much.